Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, and thank you for being here today. I'm excited to talk with you about a very important topic, preventing your relationships from going off the rails. The title of our presentation is Preventing Your Relationships from Going Off the Rails, and it's all about understanding the early warning signs and how to keep your romantic life happy and stable. Over the next few slides, we'll explore what I call the beginning of the end, and how recognizing it can help you maintain a strong, lasting connection. So let's get started. Despite all the confusion and mixed messages we often hear about relationships, most women still want a man they can respect and look up to. They desire a confident leader who takes the initiative and guides the relationship forward. Yet, interestingly, in about 99% of the relationships I've studied, the woman tends to hold more power. She controls the frame of the relationship. Not surprisingly, the happiest relationships I've seen all feature men as the dominant figure in this dynamic. When a man maintains what we call the frame, that is, the authority to shape and set the terms of the relationship, he provides clarity, direction, and leadership. The frame essentially defines who does what responsibilities each partner has, and the privileges associated with their roles. Men who control the frame tend to create relationships that are more mutually satisfying and long-lasting. Every relationship is unique, but certain principles tend to hold true across the board. From my extensive research and personal observations, I've found that relationships tend to be most successful and sustainable when the man plays the role of the captain, and the woman takes on the role of the passenger. These roles aren't just symbolic. They reflect the actual distribution of power and influence within the relationship. So, understanding the importance of maintaining a strong frame is key. It's about providing structure, clarity, and leadership, which ultimately leads to a healthier, more enduring partnership. Let's take a closer look at how control shifts in relationships. More commonly, men start out as full-fledged captains, feeling confident and in charge. But over time, they often gradually cede control, sometimes without even realizing it. These small concessions can really add up, often triggered by emotional overinvestment, a fear of conflict, or just trying to avoid discomfort. This insidious shift can lead men to question their own authenticity, making them wonder if they're still true to themselves. It can also cause them to lose sight of the life they originally wanted to lead. Now, some men, consciously or not, transfer control early on, what I describe in my book, The Value of Others, as the sexual strategy of the fairy tale captain. Less attractive men, for example, might offer privileges or concessions early to entice a woman into a relationship. This can provide short-term gratification for the woman, but it often means she's subtly dictating the terms of the relationship from the start. And on the other side, women often gain control of the frame in one of two ways. Understanding these dynamics is key to recognizing how control shifts and how to maintain your position in a relationship. When fear drives a man to comply, he begins to surrender his frame. What I mean is, he stops holding on to his authentic self and starts to go along with what the other person wants out of fear of losing her. This emotional defensiveness replaces genuine authenticity, and over time, the relationship can start to feel off balance. The ironic part is that fear is almost always a liar. If you've been true to yourself up to this point, then the woman has already chosen to be with you. You don't really need to deny what you want just to keep her around. Now, emotional investment is a tricky thing. On one hand, it's a gift because it shows you care deeply. But on the other hand, it can become a trap. When you invest your feelings and time, you might start believing that you can't say no, even when a request clashes with your true desires. It often begins with small things, like agreeing to brunch or going antiquing, but then it can escalate to much bigger decisions, like moving in together or getting married. This is what I call the seduction of overinvestment, because the more you invest emotionally, the harder it becomes to step back or voice your true boundaries. It's important to recognize this pattern early so you don't find yourself compromising who you really are just to keep the relationship going. Now, let's talk about the idea that not every desire needs to be met immediately. It's important to allow her to experience her emotions without rushing to satisfy them. By doing this, We recognize that she is capable of handling disappointment. This helps build resilience and trust in her own emotional strength. Next, we want to distinguish requests from demands. Requests are invitations for cooperation, while demands can create resistance. When we frame our communication this way, it sets a healthier tone and encourages mutual respect. Remember, the most important battles often happen early, when impulses are small and manageable. If we can recognize and address temptations early on, we can maintain control and stay aligned with our goals. All of this ties back to maintaining our frame, staying grounded and confident even when faced with challenges. This practical approach helps us navigate these moments effectively and stay true to the overall theme of leadership and self-control. Now, let's look at the balance between authority and generosity. In any system of power, whether professional or personal, it's crucial to find the right middle ground. Giving too much, being overly generous, can lead to insolvency, meaning you might deplete your resources or boundaries. On the flip side, providing too little can lead to protest or resistance because people feel undervalued or ignored. So the key is to aim for a measured level of generosity, always guided by authenticity. When your actions are genuine, you build trust and maintain healthy relationships, even when you need to set limits. This balance is essential to leadership and to sustaining long-term influence. When a man gives in to fear or overinvestment, it actually makes the relationship more difficult. It shifts control to the woman, which can create imbalance. Over time, this pattern can turn what might have been a promising relationship into something frustrating or unsatisfying. The key here is consistency. By maintaining your frame, that is, staying true to your structure and role, both partners understand the boundaries and the dynamics of the relationship. This clarity helps prevent the relationship from drifting into frustration. Essentially, surrendering to fear or overinvestment costs you control and can undermine the relationship's health. Staying steady, on the other hand, keeps the relationship strong and balanced. Men, the lesson here is quite clear. The success of your relationships really hinges on your ability to maintain your frame from start to finish. What does that mean? It means staying true to your authentic self and not wavering under pressure. Recognize fear for what it is, a natural emotion, but don't let it drive your actions. Instead of overcompensating emotionally, stay composed and grounded. Remember, a woman who truly values you will see your strength and authenticity, and she won't leave just because you say no. The key to avoiding the beginning of the end is to identify those moments when surrender feels tempting. It's in those moments that leadership matters most. Choosing to lead rather than comply can make all the difference in maintaining a healthy, balanced connection. So, in summary, it's about leading with confidence, resisting the urge to give in just to keep the peace, and staying aligned with your core desires. That's how you create lasting, genuine relationships. For those of you interested in diving even deeper, The Value of Others offers an extensive exploration of these core principles. It provides practical, actionable advice on how to navigate the complexities of the sexual marketplace, maintain authentic leadership, and build lasting, meaningful relationships. If you're looking to apply these ideas more fully in your life or career, this resource is a great next step. Remember, understanding these concepts is just the beginning. It's about how you implement them that makes the real difference. So, I encourage you to explore this further and see how these insights can truly transform your interactions and your approach to leadership and connection.